Hello again. This is the third video I'm making, but this video specifically is going to be about customer service. Um, when I talk about customer service, what do I mean? This is just meaning interacting with the customers that are at Belmont University and making sure that we're giving the best customer service possible. It's just like you think of customer service for any company. Just transfer it to residence life here on campus. Our customers at Belmont, in this sense, are our students and their families or guardians who are sending them off to college. We're responsible for watching students for the year and making sure that they survive while their family or guardians are off campus away, probably in different states, sometimes in different countries, in different parts of the world. So we have a duty to respect our customers and do right by them and treat them with the respect that any of us would ask for. Um, so when we think about issues that might come up where you have to kind of turn on your customer service hat, um, the first thing you'll want to do is treat every issue with respect. Some issues you're going to face are really serious. Maybe there's a maintenance request that isn't being fixed that is dealing with mildew, or maybe there are some serious conflict issues. So two of your customers, quote unquote, um, are in an argument. So you want to be respectful, but there's also going to be some times um, when maybe the customer's request is a little it makes you wonder a little bit. So maybe they're upset about their mattress not being comfortable, or they're confused at why they're not getting mail from their grandparents. I think there's going to be a spectrum of customer quote unquote issues, so just make sure that you treat them all with respect. I know I don't have to say this because it's pretty blatantly obvious, but don't tell people that their request is, outlandish or, um, not important, because no one likes feeling unimportant. And so we don't want to do that to our students or their families. Um, so something I try to do is I always put myself in their shoes, or I try to put myself in their shoes. So if a parent is upset with me about their um, student in Maddox because of a particular issue, while I'm not a parent, I try to think about what my emotions would be if someone I loved was in that same position. I think that kind of putting yourself in their shoes and being empathetic, I think, helps you emotionally relate to them, and it helps you kind of lead a little bit better with kindness, as opposed to maybe kind of a cold, systematic approach to customer service. Um, and then I think, like, what I'll say too about treating with respect is, if it's going to take, if you need help to treat it with respect, if you need someone on your team to help you, don't be afraid to ask for that. So I think a lot of times, if you're having customer service issues, they're probably not issues for a happy reason, right? So someone's probably going to be a little emotional when they're coming at you. You'll see this maybe a lot, especially on move-in day, when some parents, just in the heat and then all the moving and the emotion of their student going back to college or coming to college for the first time, their emotions can kind of get a little ahead of them. And so they might snap at you or say something that is a little passive aggressive, or something that you normally wouldn't say in your day to day life. Um, but we don't want to respond back with that frustration. We want to respond with kindness, but I think we want to get them to what we say in residence life is getting them back to neutral. So getting them back to a zone where they have a little bit of a clearer head and can articulate what is like what their need is in a respectful manner, versus just kind of like spouting off what the issue is in a frustrated or an angry tone. Those are synonyms, but you get the point. Um, so, with the goal of maintaining neutrality, you get to that calmer space both for you and the customer, and that you so that you can help them the best that you can. I would avoid telling anyone that you promise anything because you don't want to promise something and then have it not happen. But use good language. So saying, I understand, or I'm really sorry this is happening to you. Let me see what I can do. So that way, students and their families, or any customer at Belmont that Residence Life interacts with feels like they have an advocate. I think that's the really important thing to remember is that anyone who's having an issue just really wants to be heard, and they want to feel like they have someone who has listened to them and can advocate for them to the correct people. So make sure that we do that. And I think that's kind of the best way to get people back to neutral. Um, I think something to remember is balancing the promises that we can make sometimes in the moment versus saying no. I think sometimes the requests, there is a time to say no, but if that is the if that's the answer, I think that you need to do it kindly. Don't just kind of mouth off and be like, well, that's not happening. So, or like do what your parents did when you were a kid and just say because I said so. Like that, not great, right? So if the answer is no for a reason, say it kindly. Um, and so I think if you need help saying no, you can grab another RD or an RA to help you, because sometimes saying no can be really difficult, especially when it is to a parent who is someone, or someone who is in, just easier than students. Yeah. Um, and then finally, I think the last thing to remember in this short, brief review session is to make sure that if you need help, you always refer up. And by referring up, I mean going to your RD. Your RD is here to help you in the situations where you don't know what to do. You're just doing your job. So if the answer is no, or you're not able to do something that pleases the customer and they get really angry with you, it is not a problem to go grab an RD to help you manage the conversation. We're here for a reason, and it is one of those is to help you all in these kind of potentially weird interactions sometimes. And then finally, in any of these conversations, remember that you are a representative of not only the Office of Residence Life, but also of Belmont University. And so that means you are a representative of us in real life interactions, but also in the digital space. So don't go like mouthing off on like a class Facebook account about something that you're mad about or pissed off at. Sorry, that probably wasn't professional. But yeah, like don't just, you are a representative of Residence Life and Belmont, and so it's important that you kind of represent us in a good light. So, yeah, if you have questions, feel free to pose those as a group as you finish this video, and ask your RD if there's any specific instances that they remember that customer service has played a part in their day-to-day life as an RD here, and yeah, how you can navigate that as a staff and then as an individual. Thanks.